come to 2024. And I'm praying that your dreams of getting out, going abroad to study will be fulfilled this year, and that we also will find a way around supporting you and making that dream come true. So this afternoon, we're actually supposed to have a guest in the what we call the professional roundtable section. We have invited a senior education consultant, international education consultant, actually one of our main consultants for Canada, Australia, UK, and US. And she was going to be speaking to us this afternoon, but unfortunately, just about 3 minutes ago, she reached out to us to tell us that she has an emergency and she has to go to the hospital. So she's currently seeing the doctor and will be unable to join us this afternoon. But we are going to bring her back as soon as she's okay. We're going to bring her back and she's going to come on the call and speak to us. But we're going to be addressing some of those other opportunities that I mentioned. Unfortunately, those opportunities are also covering PhD and masters. So it's not just undergraduate programs. So I think that's a very good one for every one of us and for people that have been asking for such. So I think let's just say we'll move on straight into our presentation so we can save time and people can still go about their different engagements for this weekend. So let me share my screen and then we'll just make progress. Okay, so I hope you can all see my screen. So this is Arrows Education once again, and happy 2024 to everyone. Our address is as shown there, where our main office address is at EduCity Complex 1 in a place called Iskandar Putri in Malaysia. And that's our office phone number as well as WhatsApp. If you want to reach out to the office, you can always chat on WhatsApp, or you can send an email to arrowsabroad@gmail.com, and you can also visit the website. Our application form is on the website. So anytime you are ready, even if you are not ready, we advise just go on there, fill up the form. It's free. Just fill up the form and it will help you to see what documents you are required to provide. So even if you don't have them, then you can start to work towards getting them. That would be a lot. It will save you a lot of time when you are eventually ready. And you know, there is something that I always like to tell people on this journey. When you want it enough, you will get it. That usually happens because the things that we want somehow have a way of divinely being pushed towards us. So just keep going, keep designing, keep getting information, keep making progress, and somehow, someday, this is going to come true for you. That's one thing that we believe. So this is now she was supposed to be here. She's the one I told you had an emergency at the hospital. So she's going to be back. We will make sure that she comes back to visit. She is actually one of the top persons that we work with, especially when it comes to visa for you, visa in Canada, visa in the US, UK, and Australia. So she'll be back to speak to us. There are some new opportunities, especially there is an entry scholarship that is open right now in Canada. That was one of the things that she wanted to share with us, but unfortunately, this happened. So we'll bring her back and then she's going to share that. So this is what I'm looking at for this afternoon. It's going to be a very short session. Just welcome to 2024, which we've already done. The professional roundtable would have been taken by Daniel, but she's not here. So I'm just going to go on to discuss about the new opportunities that we have managed to secure. But before I go deep into them, I just want to mention a little bit about Arrows Education, just in case we have people on the call who are joining us for the first time today. So Arrows Education is an international education and research consulting outfit. We have offices in Nigeria and in Malaysia, but we operate all around the world. We are covering 30 countries at the moment, and we're still adding more. And we have a partnership with more than 1,000 universities in these 30 countries. So I would say whichever region of the world you are interested in studying, whatever course you are interested in studying, we are available to support you, to help you, even to counsel you. And our counseling is totally free. I am an educationist, so I personally take it all to advise on which direction to go, especially at this time when approaches to careers are changing, the dividing lines between disciplines are disappearing. What's the best option, especially for young people who are maybe applying to do bachelor's program? So they need a lot of guidance, and that's something that we try to make sure that we do free of charge for everyone that needs it. So that's it's a plus that every one of our clients get, irrespective of whether you have applied or you have not applied. So that's one of the things that we do. We also provide services to masters and PhD students. So if you're looking at studying at a research level, we also support you. And I think today's opportunities that are coming up is actually very, very much relevant to masters and PhD students. We'll discuss briefly about financial issues, and then the Canadian visa updates that we have. I'm going to also give us that. Okay, so one of the new partners that we have just started to work with Thailand. And so just a little bit about Thailand for those who don't know. So you can see the location there. That's Thailand. The capital is Bangkok, and it's in Southeast Asia. You can see the location there. It's surrounded by Laos, Cambodia, Malaysia, and the China Sea in the southern, South China Sea in the southern section, then the Adama Sea in the west, and you can see Myanmar at the north-western region as well. So that's the location of Thailand. And it's actually, I think you can go by taxi from Malaysia. So it's quite close to Malaysia. That's where the schools that we are partnering with are currently located. The capital is Bangkok, like I've said. The currency is Thai baht. And then there's a very rich nation, very rich culture and architecture, a vibrant student life with events and activities that you will make you to enjoy your study. And Bangkok is currently becoming a very popular destination in Southeast Asia because a lot of people now are seeking for cheaper opportunities to study outside Western nations, because when the currency in our various countries have become so weak, it becomes very difficult to start thinking in terms of $30,000, £30,000. So people are looking for something cheaper, but also with equally qualitative education, and that's what you get in some of these locations. So the cost of living and the study costs are both very low compared with going to study in any Western nation. So about the bachelor's program, I think I'll say so far they have very, very favorable tuition fees, and there are so many other opportunities that you can explore. There is a scholarship for every bachelor student and master student as well. I'll get to that later on. And you can get accommodation free of charge as long as you're not choosy. Then you can also get language training, especially for our participants who are from non-English speaking countries, maybe the French speaking part of Cameroon, people from Niger, people from other parts of Africa and the Middle East who don't have English as their official language. So you get free language training. And then you can also you can opt for either 2+2 or 3+1 program, whereby you can start your study in Thailand and you can go to Hungary to complete it. So you can do 2 years in Thailand, 2 years in Hungary, or 3 years in Thailand, 1 year in Hungary. And you'll get your certificate from the Hungary University. And then you can also have a 3+1 program that is focused on, you can complete it in China or in Malaysia, I think, yeah. And then, or Belarus, yeah, those are all options that you can choose from. And you will get a certificate from your university where you complete, where you registered, where you did the 3 years, which will be in Thailand, but you also get an additional certificate that documents your study experience in this mobility university, whichever one you have chosen. And then there are a lot of post-graduation employment opportunities in Europe and Australia with starting salaries of up to $25,000 per annum. And actually, if you do your bachelor's in Thailand, there is an arrangement for you to come to Malaysia to study tuition free for your master's degree. And if you do a master's degree in Thailand, there is an opportunity to study tuition free in Malaysia for your PhD. So these are all good opportunities that you can explore. The program coverage you can see on the screen, management, human resource, and then marketing, logistics and supply chain management, accounting and finance, international trade, digital arts, e-commerce, pre-education, music and performance, as well as nursing. So these are all available. So, and this I think is one of the most important aspects. So I try to curate this as clearly as possible for us to see. This is the nature of the fee for bachelor's program. So this they have their fees are broken down into what is known as the education fee and other fees. Together, these two fees makes the total fee, and the total annual that you're going to pay is after the deduction of the general scholarship. So as you can see there, for nursing, for your first year, it's 150,000 baht. Anyway, total everything at the end of 4 years, you're going to pay 800,000 baht, which is equivalent to about 23,200 US dollars. So if you divide that by 4, you can have an idea of the amount that you're going to pay per year. And I think dividing that by 4 will give you around 5,600, about 5,600 USD, which is very, very good compared with what you get in other places. Now, if you are not doing the nursing program, other programs, the ones that you have down there, so with 50% scholarship, which we are going to work out for you, we're going to support you to get that. So your total cost is going to be about 13,900. Let's just say 14,000 for 4 years. If you divide that by 4, you have something of around, that's about 7,000 per year. Oh, sorry. If you have 14,000 for 4 years, that's about 3,500 per year. So that's on the average $3,500, which I think if you break it down over a semester, you're talking of about 1,000, less than $2,000 per semester. And you can work while you're studying. So for the master's program and the PhD program, we also have very favorable tuition fees, and there are a lot of other opportunities as well. There is scholarship for everyone. And then you have 2 to 3 years of free accommodation as well. That means for 2 years of master's or 3 years of PhD, you can have free accommodation in Thailand. And after master's, if you go to do your PhD in Malaysia, you can study tuition free in Malaysia. So this is the fee structure for that. As you can see there, the program, the education fee, it's about 155,000 per year. And so the total you have there, you have a total of about 367,000 baht for the 2-year program, which is equivalent to about 5,321 USD. So if you break that down to a year, then that will give you something of, I think, about 2,600 thereabout a year. So I think that's a very, very good figure there. Then so now if you look at this table very well, there is a 50% education fee scholarship. There is a 100% education fee scholarship. So that education fee is that 4th column. So you have program, type, year, then education fee. So if you get 50% education fee, it means that instead of $155,000, baht, you're going to pay only half of that. But if you get 100% education fee, it means that the whole of that 155,000 is taken out. And if you get 100% tuition fee, it means that both the education fee and other fees are taken out. So the total annual fee that you're going to pay will be 0. Now, there are terms and conditions that you have to fulfill. And one of those is, you can see in the last column, publication requirement. So for the first option, which is 50% education fee scholarship, you don't have any publication requirement. If you choose 100% education fee scholarship, you need to publish at least one journal paper before you graduate. If you choose the second option, which is 100% fee, that means you want to study totally free, that's 0 total fee. You need to publish 5 journal papers before you graduate. And I think this will be one of the other areas where we can also assist you, because as an organization, because we are focusing on both education and research, every year we have a conference that we organize, and at the end of the conference, we publish papers for our authors. Every authors that did submit papers, went through peer reviews, and they did their corrections, and there's a significant work done in there. We support them to publish their papers. So that's another option that you may want to explore, but don't forget that there are terms and conditions. Okay, so for PhD, this is the requirement. So the tuition is higher, the total program fee is much higher. So for 50% education fee, the scholarship, you're going to end up having to pay about $22,272 USD for the 3 years. You can divide that. That will give you about $7,100 or $7,300 dollars per year. And if you choose, if you opt for the education fee, 100% education fee scholarship, you will be paying about 10,000, 9,000 something, 9,000 plus per year for, 9,000 for the 3 years. So that will give you about 3,000 thereabout per year. But you can also opt for 100, and okay, for that 100% education fee scholarship, you need to publish 6 journal papers. And then for the 100% tuition fee scholarship, you need to publish 12 journal papers. So if you think that's something that is doable for you, then you're welcome on board. Let's go on the journey together. So these are all options. So let me go over it again. For the master's program, you have 3 options. 50% education fee scholarship. You don't need to publish any paper, but you're going to be paying about $5,321 US dollar per year. For the 100% education fee scholarship, you are still going to have to pay the tuition. That's the other fees. So your total will be about 3,000 USD per year, but you have to publish 1 paper before graduation. And for the 100% tuition fee waiver, which means total of education fee as well as other fees, that means you are paying nothing for your study, you need to publish 5 journal papers before you graduate. And this is for master's degree. If you are interested in the PhD program, these are the fee structures. You need about 22,000 USD for the 3 years, so that's about 7,000 per year. If you opt for the 100% education fee scholarship, it's about 9,000 for the 3 years, so that's about 3,000 per year. And then if you opt for the 100% tuition free scholarship, which means you are paying nothing, that is full coverage, comprehensive scholarship, you need to publish 12 journal papers before you graduate. And before anyone will start to think that this is an easy way to go, the university will take a deposit from you. You're going to pay a deposit to, like a bond, to prove that you are going to deliver on this promise. If you don't deliver on this promise, you lose your deposit. If you deliver on the promise, your deposit is refunded. So that's how it works. Those are the terms and conditions. So, and then apart from that, you also have this requirement, the application fee is required for everyone. So even if you are applying for scholarship, you are expected to pay the application fee, which is about 1,400 for bachelor's program. And then you have 283 USD for the master's program. So it's much cheaper if you are doing a postgraduate program. It must be paid in the first year when you are applying, even for a normal or 100% education fee scholarship. So everyone pays this, irrespective of whether you are applying for scholarship or not. Okay. So these are the intakes. There is an intake in January, which we have already missed. If you intend to go as soon as possible, there's another intake in May, and there is a final intake in August. After August, the next one is going to be next year, January. So these are, I think, areas that we can look at. So just a few questions here that may help in answering some of the questions that you may have. We have, can I work and study? Yes, you can, but you are only allowed to work on campus. And from what we understand, the campus is quite big, and but of course, there will be limited positions because it's not out there in the town. So if you work off campus, it's considered illegal. So you're expected to work on campus. And in this case, unlike most of the I think Western nations, you are entitled to about 20 hours of work per week. In Thailand, you can work 30 hours. You can work 30 hours. And then proof of fund, actually, there are no specific requirements, but they expect you to provide proof of fund. So when you are applying to us, we will advise you on what we believe, based on our experience, what we believe is ideal for you to provide. Can I bring my spouse or family, my children, my wife, my husband? Yes, you can, but you have to arrive first. So you're going to go resume as a student and register or enroll. Then you're going to apply to immigration for your family, and then they will issue you a visa for your family to come over and join you. Do you need any accommodation certificate? Yes, if you want to apply for driver's license. Yes, if you don't want to, you don't need it. Any age limit? Yes, you need to be 18 and above. So if there are other questions, I think we may address them. So, okay, so study in Canada, which I've already explained, that we had an issue with our guest. She's in the hospital, so she's unable to join us. But I think there are a few updates that we want to intimate you. We would like you to know what's going on, especially in Canada at this time. I think for some time now, we have also had such an experience where we have sent students to Canada, and they go to Canada, they did not go to school. They did not register in school. Not only did we lose everything that should have accrued to us, we also got that bad list, that blacklist of students who don't register. So Canada is becoming very sensitive to such things now. And as such, they are making new policies, new immigration policies, which in a way is good for everyone. It will be bad for those who are always wanting to cut corners, but I think it's good for the general public, for the rest of us who are willing to do things right. And some of those some of those policies, especially for postgraduate students, master students, is becoming that now you can apply for 3 years of post-graduation work permit instead of 1 year or 2 years before. Now you can get 3 years of post-graduation work permit, and that gives you more opportunity to work and then be able to apply for your stay after you have graduated. So, and I think that's a very good one for many people. We have also received recently updates from, I think, the province of British Columbia. At the moment, they have decided they are not going to take any Nigerian student again. So if you're a Nigerian student on the call and you have intention of going to Canada, British Columbia is not it for you. So don't let anyone play you games and take your money. So don't think about British Columbia. There are a number of other provinces that you can look at. And then I think the number of intakes have also been drastically cut down by about 36%. So Canada is taking in less number of students this year than in previous years. And what that means is there will be less student visas. But for those that have already applied, no problem. For those that are yet to apply, then you have to factor that in as well. And I think another issue is the issue of spousal visas, because as a matter of policy previously, if you are studying in Canada and you are not an undergraduate student, maybe you're studying in college, you're doing a postgraduate diploma or an advanced diploma or anything, you can bring your spouse and your spouse can work full time to support you, and it is official. But now, Canada is stopping that, and only spouses of students who wants to study only them will be able to get their visa, their spouse to get visa and work permit. So if you are going to study in Canada and you have a spouse or you have family, you want your family to come with you, be careful how you choose courses, be careful the kind of course you choose, so that at the end of the day, you are not going to end up in a situation where you discover when it is already too late that your spouse cannot come or they can't work. I think one more thing that I want to add to that is the fact that we have also had cases where students have been sent to countries, maybe Western countries, where the assumption is that the moment I get there, I will be able to work, I'll be able to do this, I'll be able to stay back after graduation, I'll get a post-graduation work permit. But by the time they got there, they discovered that the student visa that brought them in does not qualify them for post-graduation work permit. This is very, very possible because not every institution is approved to give post-graduation work permit. So if it's either your agent is not aware or is deliberately playing games with you, so we'll say be very careful of what choices you're making so that you don't end up in that kind of difficult situation. So I think for that, that would be where I'm going to draw the curtain and I'm going to allow us to discuss if anyone has questions